يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله يا رسول الله صلى الله على محمد.
As Muslims all over the world face Qiblah for prayers, so do all schools focus on Qiblah schools to emulate beautiful innovations. Our nursery and primary schools enjoy good teaching aid facilities as our team of qualified and committed teachers leave no stone unturned, ranging from academics to moral and religious teachings. Qiblah High School as well is a place to be with spacious playground, very conducive learning environment, library, ICT and indoor games rooms, and not only well stocked but also equipped with state-of-the-art facilities. Our students perform brilliantly well at all external examinations as well as various core and extracurricular activities. Qiblah schools, comprising of preparatory and high schools, is at plot 2 to 5 Ibadan Southwest Multipurpose Scheme at Leshiloye, Ibadan. Telephone 0805-272-5253 or 0803-313-2027. Qiblah schools, we set the pace.
Alhamdulillah wa kafa. ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praise and adoration is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of incomparable majesty. We thank Him, we adore Him, we testify to His oneness, that He has no associate, He has no partner. We equally testify to the messengership and prophet of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. May the peace and benediction of Allah be upon His noble soul, His household, His companions, and the unity of Muslims till the day of accountability. You are welcome to your favorite program, Message from Qiblah, sponsored by Qiblah Schools, Leshiloye, Ibadan. This morning, we want to look at the concept of i'tikaf. When we say al-i'tikaf, linguistically, it means luzumu shay'in wa absu nafs alayhi khayran kana aw sharra. It means to stick to something with devoted minds, be it something that is good or what is bad. So the moment someone sticks to something and that person is devoted to that thing, what the person is doing is al-i'tikaf. That is in linguistic term. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about this concerning the children of Israel when Prophet Musa alayhi salam was taking them across the sea, and after they moved across the sea, they saw some people worshipping some idols. They were devoted to him, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the word i'tikaf to qualify what they were doing at that instance of time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us this in Surah Al-Araf, Quran chapter 7, verse 138. Where Allah says, Ba'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. وَجَوَزْنَا بِبَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ الْبَحْرَ فَأَتَوْا عَلَى قَوْمٍ يَعْكِفُونَ عَلَى أَصْنَامٍ لَهُمْ قَالُوا يَا مُوسَى اجْعَل لَّنَا إِلَٰهًا كَمَا لَهُمْ آلِهَةٌ قَالَ إِنَّكُمْ قَوْمٌ تَجْهَلُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَجَوَزْنَا بِبَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. We took the children of Israel with safety across the sea. فَأَتَوْا عَلَى قَوْمٍ يَعْكِفُونَ عَلَى أَصْنَامٍ لَهُمْ. They came upon the people devoted entirely to some idols they had. قَالُوا يَا مُوسَى اجْعَل لَّنَا إِلَٰهًا كَمَا لَهُمْ آلِهَةٌ. They said unto Prophet Musa that, O Musa, fashion for us a god like these gods they have. And Prophet Musa said, Innakum qawmun tajhalun. That surely you are a people without knowledge. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used here is the word i'tikaf. قَوْمٌ يَعْتَكِفُونَ عَلَىٰ أَصْنَامٍ لَهُمْ. People devoted to some idols. So it means if someone is devoted to something and the person stick to that thing, then what the person is doing is i'tikaf. That is in linguistic term. But in Sharia, according to this discussion, what i'tikaf means in Sharia is luzumul masjid wa maqsu fi'i bi niyyat tazalluf wa taqarrubu ila Allah azza wa jalla. It means to stick to the mosque and dwell therein with the intention of worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the intention of drawing oneself closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what i'tikaf means as applicable in Sharia. So it means if anybody goes to the mosque, the person gets to the mosque and stick to the mosque and dwell therein for the purpose of worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the intention of becoming closer to Allah azza wa jalla. What that person is doing is i'tikaf. And as we all know, that one of the righteousness to be carried out in the month of Ramadan is al-i'tikaf. And this i'tikaf is mashru'a. It is what is legislated in Sharia. Sharia has made it a righteousness that if anybody carries it out, the person will get reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because this is a tradition of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu was reported that كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يعتكف في كل رمضان 10 أيام فلما كان عام قبض فيه اعتكف 20 يوما رواه البخاري وأبو داود. The Prophet ﷺ, it was reported that the Prophet used to do i'tikaf, that he stick to the mosque the month of Ramadan, particularly in the last 10 days of Ramadan. So, but the year that the Prophet ﷺ answered the inevitable call, that is the year he returned to his Lord, the Prophet did i'tikaf for 20 days. So if you look at this report, we see that it is a tradition of the Prophet to always go on i'tikaf for 10 days in the month of Ramadan. And the last year that the Prophet ﷺ spent on the earth's surface, he carried out i'tikaf for 20 days. So that is telling us that doing i'tikaf is a tradition of the Prophet ﷺ. Whoever does it has fulfilled one of the traditions of the Prophet ﷺ. Then this i'tikaf that we are talking about, it is divided into two categories. The first one is i'tikaf masnun wa i'tikaf wajib. The i'tikaf that is sunnah and the one that is an obligatory act. The one that is obligatory act is the one that someone imposed on himself. Take for instance, if someone made a pledge that, oh Allah, if you rescue me from this predicament that I find myself, I will go on i'tikaf for a day, I will go on i'tikaf for 2 days or for 3 days. So it means that person has made that i'tikaf a compulsory act upon himself, an obligation upon himself, and which must be fulfilled. So such i'tikaf that is made as a sort of pledge, then that one is a compulsory act and obligation upon the person who has made such a pledge to fulfill it. But the one that is sunnah, that one is the one that is always carried out in the month of Ramadan, most importantly in the last 10 days of Ramadan. Now that we are edging towards the last 10 days of Ramadan, those of us that we don't have anything delaying us in town, those of us that we don't have any engagement at home, at our place of work, then it is highly recommended for us to go on i'tikaf. By now, should be preparing to go on i'tikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan. And the time that we are going to resume at i'tikaf will be before the sunset on the 28th of Ramadan. That is, on the 28th of Ramadan, before the sun sets, whoever wants to carry out this act of ibadah must have been in the mosque for this act of ibadah with the intention of serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a better way than you could serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while at home. And we have some conditions that must be fulfilled by someone before going on i'tikaf. And whoever couldn't fulfill these conditions, then it means it is not expected of such a person to go to mosque for seclusion. Then the first thing is that an yakuna muslima. The person that will do i'tikaf must be a Muslim, must have faith. He must be a believer who believes in Islamic monotheism. There should be somebody who can differentiate between the wrong and what is good. So the person should be able to know what is good and differentiate it from what is bad. It means the person must have been matured. Then ta'iran min janaba wal haid wal nifas. The person must have been cleaned from janaba, from haid, and from nifas. So it means the person that we do i'tikaf must be in a state of purity. The person must have cleaned himself or herself from impurities. So the person that is carrying janaba on his body, that person is not expected to go to mosque for i'tikaf. And the person that is in a period of menstruation, the person is not also expected to go to mosque for i'tikaf. And the person from whom the bad blood flows is not also expected to go for i'tikaf. So the person that will go for i'tikaf must have been cleaned from all these impurities. And then we have two fundamental pillars of i'tikaf, and these two fundamental pillars must hold for whoever wants to go for i'tikaf. And the first one is al-maqsu fil masjid. That is seclusion in the mosque. That is the first thing. The person that will do i'tikaf will do it in the mosque, not at the corridor of his room. The person must be in the mosque and stay there. Then the second one is niyyatu taqarrub ila Allah ta'ala, and that is the intention of becoming closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the two fundamental pillars of i'tikaf. Inshallah, tomorrow we shall continue from where we stop on what is expected of someone that is doing i'tikaf, and when will he come out of i'tikaf, and some other things. We pray that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spare our lives beyond tomorrow, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward the school from which this message is coming abundantly. Till tomorrow we shall be meeting again. My name is Rashid Musa. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Talking of schools with clear vision and mission, Qiblah schools maintain a comfortable lead.
With varieties taught for all ages, children don't miss home. Our teachers are dedicated, caring, and hardworking, and that's why we stand out among our equals.
Qiblah schools is situated in a serene environment with well-ventilated classrooms,
standard laboratory,
fully stocked library,
and ICT room.
School bus operates to move students to and fro with paths
and other facilities at hand
to develop an all-round student.
The fear of God is not left behind, as we are not only taught the word of God, but also made to practice under the supervision of our well-informed malams.
Situated at plot 2 to 5 Ibadan Southwest Local Government Multipurpose Scheme, Alesh Lawyer, Ibadan.
Telephone 0805 272 5253
0803 313 2027.
Qiblah schools, learning with direction.